A poor child lived with several younger brothers and sisters. His father had passed away, and his mother had no occupation other than taking care of the house. Since the boy was the eldest of the children, he went to the seashore every day to catch fish, and in this way he provided for himself and his family. The boy was very intelligent and clever, but he no longer had time to play or study. He spent the entire day on the seashore, trying to catch as many fish as possible. Other children were also on the shore, playing happily, but he always chose a quiet and secluded corner. He would throw his small fishing net into the water, then sit sadly and motionless, waiting for fish to get caught, lost in thought. Every day, he thought to himself, "If I catch a lot of fish today, I can rest tomorrow." But the fish he caught were always few, and they never lasted until the next day. The poor boy had only himself, his mother who did the housework, and 5 younger children. They were a family of 7 with many expenses. His only happiness was that he was considered the head of the family, and his mother and siblings regarded him as the man of the house. One day, the king came to the seaside for recreation with his companions. After resting in the seaside palace, swimming and attending to his affairs, he became bored. He mounted his horse and rode alone along the shore. The weather was pleasant and the sea was calm. Along the shore, people were busy with their own activities. Children were playing joyfully in groups. Fishermen were coming and going. Some people were swimming, while others were resting under the sun or under shelters. Rural men and women were working on their gardens and lands near the shore. The king continued watching until he reached a place where a young fisherman was sitting alone in a quiet corner, far from others. It was clear that the boy was focused only on his work and paying attention to nothing else. The king approached and stood nearby, watching him for a while. He saw that the boy was busy with his task and softly humming a poem in a thin voice. The king realized that the boy was troubled. He felt moved and wished to comfort him. He dismounted from his horse, stepped closer and asked, "My boy, what are you doing here alone?" The boy turned around. He saw the man's fine clothes and his horse and understood that he was someone important from the court. He greeted him respectfully and said, "I am catching fish. This is my work every day. I can never play like them. I am different from the others on the shore." The king said, "Playing costs nothing. Even when someone is alone, they can still play." The child replied, "But I must feed 6 people, my mother and 5 younger children. Our father drowned in the sea." The king nodded and said, "I understand. How many fish do you usually catch each day?" The child answered, "Some days less, some days more, just enough for us to survive. But we do not want to beg, and we do not want to be a burden on anyone." The king smiled and said, "Well done. You are truly a man." Then he asked, "Would you like to do something? Today I will help you fish, and whatever we catch, we will share." The boy, tired of loneliness and touched by the man's kindness, agreed so he could have a companion. He said, "I agree, but only if we divide everything fairly. I do not want you to take a larger share." The king replied, "I agree. 2 shares for you and 1 for me." The child shook his head and said, "No, not like that. Unnecessary generosity always has a flaw. I never accept anything without reason. Half for you and half for me. God is generous." The king was pleased by the child's nobility and accepted. He took the small net from the boy, threw it farther into the sea, handed the rope back to the child, and said, "Sit here." Then he picked up a handful of sand from the shore, scattered it into the water, and sat beside the boy. They waited for the fish and talked quietly. After a while, the king said, "Now let us pull up the net and see how many fish there are." They pulled the net out. It was full of small and large fish. The child rejoiced and exclaimed, "Oh my God! Hundreds, even thousands! So many! I have never caught this much fish before. Usually it is 2 or 3, or nothing at all. I think your luck is very good. This catch must be because of your fortune." The king gently replied, "No, my dear, it was your own effort. It has nothing to do with luck. We threw the net deeper into the sea, and there are more fish there." The child said, "Then let us divide them, one for you, one for me." The king answered, "No. When we become partners, we alternate days. I did not come to fish today. I was only walking. The net was yours, and you chose the place. Today's fish are all yours. Tomorrow, whatever we catch will be mine. There is nothing wrong with that." The child hesitated, then said, "All right, but please take 2 or 3 fish for yourself." The king replied, "No, let us not disturb the balance." The child accepted and said, "These fish are enough for my family for several days. Tomorrow we will surely be partners again." The king smiled and said, "Certainly, God is great. We will meet here tomorrow. Goodbye." The next morning, at the same time, the king returned to the seaside palace. He sent his servant and said, "Go to that spot on the shore. Tell the poor child who fishes there that yesterday's partner is waiting. Bring him with you." The servant delivered the message. The boy felt afraid, but when he realized it was the king, he thought to himself, "We have nothing for anyone to take from us. Yesterday, he was not a bad partner." So he agreed, gathered his net, and followed the servant to the seaside palace. The boy thought they would fish again, but the king welcomed him warmly and said, "We were partners yesterday, and today we are partners as well, correct?" The child replied, "That is fine. We agreed to be partners today. What should I do for you?" The king said, "Nothing. You will sit here in our council. Whatever matter arises, we will consult and decide together." The child nodded and said, "Very well. Today, nothing shall be done without my permission. That is our agreement." The courtiers laughed. One of the king's close men said, "As you see, this child cannot handle so much kindness. He is taking it too seriously. This may become troublesome." The king calmly replied, "It will not be troublesome. Do not worry." That day, every matter was resolved with the help and consultation of the young fisherman. There were many issues. One of them was that the king wished to build a large place of worship. He had purchased a vast piece of land, but in one corner lived an old woman who refused to sell her house at any price. The old woman came before the king, and they sought a decision. They consulted the child. He said, "If the intention is to do good, then the old woman cannot be forced to sell her house. Either the place of worship should be built elsewhere, or the old woman should be made a partner in it. One corner can be called the old woman's corner. What is wrong with that?" The king said, "If the old woman agrees, there is no problem." The old woman smiled and said, "That is exactly what I wished for." The decision was made accordingly. The child was pleased. The king gave the necessary orders, and several other matters were resolved until the day's work was completed. At sunset, the young fisherman stood and said, "My time is up. I never work past sunset. My mother and my siblings are waiting for me." The king said, "Very well. Yesterday and today we were partners, but today's work brought far greater results. You may take as much money from the treasury as you wish." The child replied firmly, "I want nothing. Our agreement was simple. One day is mine, and one day is yours. Today's results belong to you. Yesterday, you did not even accept 2 fish. I will not accept anything either. The balance would be disturbed." The king said, "No, the balance will not be disturbed. Yesterday we worked for 2 hours. Today we worked much more. To keep the balance, you must accept a greater share, whatever you wish." The child thought for a moment, then said, Then for this extra work, I will accept the value of 1 net of fish, and I will imagine that we fished twice. Tomorrow I will play." They agreed, and a large amount of fish was prepared for him. Then the child said, "From the day after tomorrow, it will be a working day again. If you wish to be partners again, come." The king replied, "You see how much work we have. My heart is with these duties. If you wish, come here every day and be my partner." The child smiled and said, "No, my heart is with the sea. I accepted partnership only for sea work. You cannot abandon all the people's affairs. Our partnership ends here." The king said, "Very well, but whenever you need anything, we are here." The child bowed slightly and said, "Thank you. If my net is full like yesterday every day, I will need nothing. I'm glad to have met you, but I love my work. My work is fishing. Thanks to you, I now know how to catch more fish. I must go deeper into the sea." The child said goodbye, carried the fish home, and felt happy. The king ordered that the child's family be helped indirectly until the children grew up. And because the young fisherman could not part from the sea, he was gifted a beautiful fishing boat. Here, the stories don't end, they only pause. The continuation happens in your heart. If you're still here, it means this story has found its way to you. So, give me a sign.